Welcome back to Regina's Kitchen. Today we're making blueberry bagels. To start, I'm adding my yeast to my flour, then I'm going to add the water and blueberries, mix them and then let that rest for 30 minutes. This is called an autolyse. This is a cup of blueberries that I blended with the warm water that I'm using to make my dough. So let's talk science. During the autolyse, the proteins and the starches in the flour absorbs the water completely. What this does is improve the gluten structure in the dough, and because of the improved gluten structure, the kneading time is reduced, meaning less air is mixed into the dough, which improves the color and the flavor. Ultimately, this makes the finished dough easier to handle and it improves the texture in the final product. A good thing to note is that during the autolyse, only water and flour is added. However, if you are using instant yeast like I am, you can add it because the yeast takes time to absorb the water. So by the time the yeast is fully dissolved, the autolyse period is almost over. After the 30 minutes, add your remaining ingredients and finish mixing your dough. So I'm adding my salt and my sugar, and then I'm gonna knead it until it's nice and elastic. Once it's done kneading, place it in a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with plastic, and let it rest in the fridge for a minimum of 4 hours. You can also do this overnight, which would be so much better, but minimum 4 hours. And that's what I mean when I say elastic. I'm gonna knead it until it's elastic. It means you get a good stretch from the dough before it breaks. If you're new, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. So this goes into the fridge for 4 hours or overnight. And you want to let this ferment in the fridge because you get less air bubbles when it rises. And with bagels, you don't want a lot of air bubbles. You need it dense and chewy. So this amount of dough gives you 7 bagels, and each one weighs 4 ounces or 110 grams, and you can eyeball it because it's 7 bagels, but I prefer to weigh it. So I'm going to roll these into a ball and let them rest for about 5 to 10 minutes before shaping. Let's get to shaping. There are 3 ways to shape a bagel. You can poke a hole in the center like this and just extend the hole with your fingers, and you have a bagel. The problem I have with this one is it's not as chewy as I like my bagel. Next, you can roll it into a log, join the ends, and just roll it together to seal it. This one is chewier than the first one, but still not as chewy. And when you're rolling, you don't need any flour on the surface because you need it to stick, and the flour will prevent it from sticking, so no flour. The third way is similar to the second one, and my personal favorite. Flatten the dough and roll it up, and this gives you the best chew. So if I were to recommend any one of these techniques, it would be the last one because, of course, chewy and dense, the way I like it. However, if you need a softer bagel, still chewy but softer than the first one, and, well, the second one, not as chewy as the last one, but not as soft as the first one. So, pick your choice. So, we're gonna boil our bagels. I'm adding brown sugar and molasses to my water. This contributes to the flavor and the coloring of the bagel. And what the boiling does is it sets the crust of the bagel before you add it to the oven. So you get that nice crisp crust. And since the crust is already set, then the bagels don't rise as much when they go into the oven, which makes them dense and chewy. The way we all love them, I assume. Boil them for 2 minutes, 1 minute on each side. Now brush them with some egg wash. This is 1 whole egg and a tablespoon of water, and place them in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. So these are done, and just take a look how pretty they are. This recipe is versatile. You can swap out the blueberries and add whatever your preference is in a bagel, or you can make them plain and add toppings to it. The choice is really yours. Possibilities are endless. I like mine toasted and with cream cheese. Nothing else on my bagel, only cream cheese. Either plain or flavored. And this is strawberry cream cheese. Strawberry cream cheese, blueberry bagels, yum. The recipe is in the description box below. I hope you give it a try and let me know how it turns out. Until next time, thanks for watching.